That guy, he also almost like he said about me. I never wanted to fight him. And then before opposition was his very close to his he gonna give him stuff later. He always said, well, oh, he should have known, baby, all that.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? Let's get it started. I don't know if you guys have been watching the news, but I'm really bothered by all the war that's been going on. I mean, not only like against Iran, but the Palestine war and all that stuff. Why do we keep seeing genocides happening? Mostly in the Middle East, Europe. We see all these genocides happening all the time. Why is that happening? And it's not a matter of politics here. It's more about the psychology. Why do we keep having them happen? That is a big question. If you got an answer, me, I wanna know. Somebody's always trying to wipe out somebody else. You know, it could be the Arabs trying to wipe out the Jews, Jews trying to wipe out the Arabs, the West trying to wipe out the Persians, the Persians trying to wipe out the Arabs, wipe out the Jews, just constant back and forth of all these peoples. So it's like, what's up? I've got some answers myself, you know. But here's the thing: if you look at, the Middle East, there are only 3 major languages in the Middle East. Look at all of the Middle East, only 3 major languages. You got Arabic, right? You got Hebrew, right? And Farsi, pretty much. These are the 3 major languages. There might be some other minor language there that I don't know of. If you guys know of any other language in the Middle East that I'm not aware of, let me know. But those are like the major languages in the Middle East. And this doesn't include the Caucasus or anything, just from like Syria through Iraq, Iran, coming down to Saudi Arabia and all the way down to Israel. That for me is the Middle East. And all that land, only three major languages. That's it. You know, if they're Arabic dialects, I don't care for it. Arabic is Arabic. I don't care for dialects. You know, and I'm talking about like living languages, not like languages that have become extinct. Languages that are currently spoken, living languages, only three of them. But if you go back and look at history, go back and look at the Bible, you see there were so many more languages back then. Aramaic, you know, obviously uh, Latin or the Romance languages were brought in by the Romans. They're not really like indigenous languages. We had like so many different tribes there. If you look at the Bible, the Hittites, the Assyrians, and all these different groups of people there, they all had their own languages, different. The Lebanese, the Syrians, they all had their own languages. All of that was wiped out. And now I'm taken over by Arabic. So you can see that genocide, it's something that is very, historically has been dominating the Middle East by the Arabs. Because all those different countries had their own languages before Arabic came in, right? And the Arab just wiped out and killed off all the different peoples in the Middle East. The Lebanese, the Syrians, the Jordanians, all these different people had their own languages and cultures. And now it's all taken over by Arabic. So they basically wiped out whole people and made all those people Arabs who speak only Arabic. And if I'm wrong, someone tell me, because I don't think there's any other language in the Middle East besides those languages are picked out. And so genocide is not something that's new. It's a very cultural thing in the Middle East and in Europe. And so all these constant killings that have been going on is just frustrating. They keep talking about world peace and stuff. We'll miss out on the culture of genocide, be it moved by nationalism or religion, but those two things tend to come together and lead to genocide. So it's a psychology that needs to be studied more and changed. Okay. Now, when we come to Africa, for example, Africa and Africans are the most peaceful people ever. Okay. They do fight wars, historically, but even those wars are oftentimes an extreme, option. But many of the wars that Africans fought were initiated by Europeans when Europeans make contact with Africans, right? After making contact with Africans, they got them to fight each other for slavery, right? When African tribes fight, each other for slave trade, if they win, they capture slaves, take them to the coast and sell them to the Europeans and those moving to the Americas. That was a big boon for like the slave trade because Europeans couldn't go into African continents and go catch Africans. The Africans were too big, too strong, too fast to be dominated by the Europeans. Only along the coast can the Europeans operate. They couldn't go inside with malaria and all these diseases and not knowing the terrain. So it was mostly Africans fighting wars, sponsored Europeans, and then capturing the slaves and taking them to the coast. and slave trade. But Africans were peaceful. They don't want to fight. You can see today, even today, where there is a war in Africa, is usually because of religious fanaticism from some Arabs and Muslims trying to kill other Christians, or you have the post-colonial period where um, the previous colonial European country created a destabilized interaction between the tribes in the country, and now they're trying to nation build when you have multiple different tribes all put together by some European country by force. So it's it's just crazy. It's just one of those things. Oh yeah. So I'm really just worried that this whole culture of you know genocide and fighting and killing, it's still just ongoing at a different scale. And how do we really change that? In If you look at Europe, for example, there are very few countries that have more than one language spoken. You go to an African country, even a small African country, you have tens of languages being spoken. That so shows you that there was never a genocidal culture to wipe out other cultures. But in Europe, you don't see that. A big country could have just one language because of just the genocidal culture of wiping out other smaller tribes, cleaning them out. So it's it's troubling, and that's what's happening in the Middle East right now. Yeah, that's what's happening in the Middle East. Yeah, I think I'm warmed up. I'm gonna go all the way down. Once I warm up, I go heavy. I'll go heavy. Let me grab a couple more of these. Wait. Snack 'em up. All right, let's go. Ooh, that's it. Just be really good pump. It's a good upper body pump. My arms, my chest, triceps. Really good pump. Probably one of the quickest ways to get a good pump. I really like it. I haven't done it in a while, so it just feels good to get back into it. Um, but like here, man, I really just want peace in the Middle East. Oh, just too much fighting, bro. Too much fighting. What's up, Samaj? Thank you, thank you, thank you. And remember, like and subscribe. That's a way to support, man. Like and sub. And if you've never done this before, when you get to the gym, have a chance, give it a shot. You're gonna love it. You'll feel your whole body pumping. Your chest is gonna get pumped. Your biceps, your triceps, your shoulders. It's a very good pump. So give it a shot if you can. Okay. Let's go for another set. Change my head position because I was going to try to make sure you're not favoring one side. You don't want one part of your body to be stronger or bigger than the other part. So I went for something just like changing head positions. Try to make sure. I've lost count. I don't want to wait too long, so I'm gonna move it down and do a different workout. No way, I'm not wasting time trying to recover. Now this one's gonna be for my back. You know, you can see because I'm using different muscles, I don't have to rest. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I can go up and I go down again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh. So you switch up like that, you don't need to rest as much because you're using different muscles and stuff. Oh, let's do some biceps curls. This time I'm gonna reduce the weight significantly. All right. Get his biceps. All right. All right. 2, 3. Focus down on this shit. Problems you have to deal with these things. Oh, woo. Let's go. Let's switch over to some pull downs. I'm gonna reduce the weight. Start lights and see how it goes. Do some pull downs here. Looks like I'm out of the frame again. What up, peoples? What up? What up? I'm gonna go a little bit heavier. All right. That's a good warm up. I'm gonna go heavier in a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go all the way down to 42. Micro Polo, what's up? If I say your name, you got to sub. Micro Polo, sub. Like and sub. Let's go. That's the tradition here. All right. I'll do one more set. I'm gonna do tricep push downs. Next, we switch to back, and then we're gonna come back to bicep curls. Again, can't forget the back. Anchor myself, fully back rows. All right, next, let's do bicep curls. Ooh. Let's all pray for world peace, man. Too many wars going on everywhere. Europe, Middle East. Let's pray for peace. Too many killings going on. Let's get healthy too. Go to the gym, eat healthy, stay healthy, work out, be fit and strong. Let's be fit and strong to enjoy our health, not to go fight and kill. That's the golden rule. We gotta stop having the desire to kill other people. It's just been going on for generations. Find a way to just make peace, resolve differences, and move forward. If your religion is telling you that the only way for you to go to heaven is to kill other people, that's not a religion, that's a cult. It can't be the only way, you know? So let's do away with that, find a better way to resolve our differences. All right. Then next, we're gonna do some more bicep curls and go back to back and then tricep pushdowns again. I'm gonna make it a little bit heavier so I can get a more intense workout. Ooh, 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 ooh. So now we're gonna go back again. I'm gonna repeat this time again. That's a little too high. Okay. Oh, it's too light. I'm gonna go all the way. Lights out. The machine here. Pulley back rows. Here's my invented move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Woo. Ah. Mm. Mm. Ah. Ah. Woo. similar. Just consistency. Consistency here in the gym. I follow my workout regimen really good. I'm actually about 10 pounds lighter. It's like cut some weight from my jiu-jitsu tournament. So I'm actually working my way back up to where I was. So. Fully back holds. This is going to be my last set. Or I can at least pull up. That'll be my last set. Let's get down there and just pull it up. That should be my birthday at least. 400. I'm gonna hit the biceps again, and it's good to like work out your use different machines for the same muscle group because they all hit differently. If I'm doing my bicep using a barbell curl or preacher curl or I'm using the dumbbells, they're all gonna hit different. You can use a dumbbell to do a hammer fist bicep curls, right? It goes sideways and stuff. If you're using a barbell, if you're using it straight, different hand positions. Probably hits different, with different mechanics. Positioning hands. That's why I say it's good to use different machines, different angles to work out different parts of the biceps. So that's why. I like using this because it just feels different. So that's it for me today. Great workout. See you guys next time. Stay fit, stay healthy. Go out there and work out. Peace out.